What if I told you that right now, as you're watching this, there are over 12,500 nuclear warheads sitting ready across the planet, and the people controlling them are just as human, just as flawed, and just as capable of making mistakes as you and I? That's not a movie plot. That's Tuesday. Let's talk about something most people deliberately avoid thinking about. Because the moment you actually understand nuclear war, you realize the world is operating on a level of fragility that should make every single one of us deeply uncomfortable. Here's the controversy nobody wants to admit. We didn't survive the Cold War because of brilliant strategy. We survived largely because of luck. In 1983, a Soviet lieutenant colonel named Stanislav Petrov received a satellite alarm indicating 5 American missiles were incoming. His protocol said launch a counterstrike. Instead, he called it a malfunction. He was right. But here's what should haunt you. That decision came down to one man's gut feeling at 3 a.m. One man, one sleepy gut feeling. Between you and nuclear war. Now pause. Because if that story doesn't rewire your brain slightly, I need you to keep watching. The 9 countries currently holding nuclear weapons are the United States, Russia, United Kingdom, France, China, India, Pakistan, Israel, and North Korea. According to the Federation of American Scientists' 2024 report, Russia holds approximately 5,580 warheads, and the United States holds around 5,044. Together, that's roughly 90% of all nuclear weapons on Earth owned by just 2 nations who, by the way, have had an increasingly tense diplomatic relationship since 2022 following the Russia-Ukraine conflict. And here's what the textbooks skip. A nuclear war doesn't need to be a massive first strike. Scientists have modeled what they call a limited nuclear exchange, say 100 warheads between India and Pakistan. The result? Soot and debris would enter the stratosphere, blocking enough sunlight to drop global temperatures by 1 to 2 degrees Celsius for an entire decade. Global crop failures. Famine affecting up to 2 billion people. That's a limited nuclear war. Imagine what unlimited looks like. Here's the part that breaks people's thinking completely. The actual detonation is not the worst part. A 2022 study published in Nature Food calculated that a full-scale nuclear exchange between the US and Russia could kill 5 billion people, not primarily from the bombs, but from nuclear winter and the global famine that follows. 5 billion people. That's more than half of everyone alive today, starving to death because of smoke blocking the sun. The bomb kills millions. The aftermath kills billions. But wait, before you spiral into existential dread, there's something genuinely important you need to understand about why this conversation matters right now more than ever. In 2023, the Bulletin of Atomic Scientists moved the Doomsday Clock to 90 seconds to midnight, the closest it has ever been to global catastrophe since its creation in 1947. In January 2024, they kept it there. 90 seconds. That's not symbolic theater. That's scientists, former heads of state, and Nobel laureates collectively saying we have never been this close. And here's where it gets truly controversial. Here's where people get uncomfortable. Many experts argue that the current nuclear deterrence strategy, the idea that mutually assured destruction keeps everyone safe, is built on a foundation that assumes every leader in every country will always behave rationally under extreme pressure. But history shows us over and over again that humans don't behave rationally under pressure. We panic. We misread data. We trust the wrong people. We make decisions at 3 a.m. on gut feelings. The Treaty on the Non-Proliferation of Nuclear Weapons, signed by 191 countries, was supposed to prevent the spread of nuclear weapons and eventually lead to disarmament. Yet North Korea withdrew from the treaty in 2003 and now possesses an estimated 40 to 50 nuclear warheads as of 2024, according to the Stockholm International Peace Research Institute. The gap between international agreements and actual reality is enormous, and that gap is where danger lives. Here's something that might genuinely shock you. The United States military budget for nuclear weapons modernization between 2021 and 2030 is estimated at $1.7 trillion. Not for schools, not for hospitals, for weapons that every military strategist agrees you can never actually use without catastrophic global consequences. We are spending nearly $2 trillion maintaining weapons we pray we never fire. The global movement for nuclear disarmament is not dead. The Treaty on the Prohibition of Nuclear Weapons entered into force in January 2021 and has been signed by 93 countries. But here's the bitter irony. Not a single nuclear-armed nation has signed it. Not one. So what does all of this mean for you? Sitting wherever you are right now? It means the conversation about nuclear weapons cannot stay inside government buildings and academic journals. It means understanding these facts is not paranoia, it's responsibility. An informed public creates informed pressure on leadership. That is historically how dangerous policies change. The world didn't wake up to the dangers of chemical weapons, landmines, or biological warfare until ordinary people demanded accountability. Nuclear weapons deserve the same energy, except the consequence of getting it wrong is not thousands of lives. It's civilization itself. We cannot afford collective amnesia on this subject, because history has shown us that things only change when enough people refuse to look away. Follow this channel because we are committed to giving you real, research-backed information about the things that actually shape your world, without the filters, without the sugarcoating, and without the fear-mongering that keeps you from thinking clearly. Now here's the question I want you to answer in the comments below. Do you believe that nuclear deterrence, the idea that having nuclear weapons prevents nuclear war, actually makes the world safer, or has it simply delayed a disaster we are not ready for?